We've waited 6 years. We will start to see plans towards the end of 2018. The next big development to happen at Thorpe Park. Something that Thorpe Park has always been missing, and it probably would be the best ride in the UK. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So, today's video has been a long time in the making. Many years, in fact. Because ever since Thorpe Park's last coaster, the Swarm, was built back in 2012, everyone has been patiently waiting and asking what the next big thing would be. And we've waited 6 years and nothing. We've heard no news about the next coaster. However, I believe we are now nearing the point where we will find out the next big development to happen at Thorpe Park. So today we're going to be taking a look and having a little chat about what Thorpe Park's next roller coaster will likely be. We're going to be taking a look at the 4 most likely types of ride, as well as possible locations and even possible themes that this ride could have. So yeah, let's get right into it. So in at number 4 we have a wooden roller coaster, specifically a GCI wooden coaster, just like Wicker Man is over at Alton Towers, which opened brand new this year. Now, a wooden coaster is something that Thorpe Park has always been missing and something that fans have always been asking for. In fact, back before Saw the Ride was built, there are actually plans for a wooden coaster in Saw's location, but obviously nothing ever happened with this and Saw the Ride ended up being built. So it is something that the park have considered in the past, but nothing has ever come from it. So you may be asking, why would they want to build a wooden coaster now? And I think the biggest piece of evidence we have for a possible wooden coaster being built is Wicker Man. Like, Wicker Man was obviously a relatively small wooden coaster. It was built for the family market. So could it have been that Wicker Man was just a little test to see how the public would react to a wooden coaster at a Merlin theme park? And in my opinion, Wicker Man seems to have gone down very well. Everyone seems to enjoy it.
I'm absolutely speechless. Like, it's phenomenal. I love it.
So seeing as it has gone down so well, could Thorpe Park be looking at this and be thinking, right, let's do the same but on a bigger scale. Let's make it a big thrill coaster rather than just a family coaster. Also, we have the fact that Wicker Man is built on the old site of the Flume, which was Alton Towers' log flume, which closed to make way for Wicker Man. And over at Thorpe Park, what do we have? We have a log flume that's been closed for a few seasons now, with not a lot going on over there. So it almost seems too perfect with the Flume closing and then Wicker Man being built, Loggers Leap's closed. Could this be a good location to build a massive wooden coaster? Because let's be honest, it would fit the theme of Old Town very well. So a big old wooden coaster in the Loggers Leap location, it's definitely plausible. Now, coming in at number 3, we have a hypercoaster. So this type of ride will most likely be made by either B&M or possibly even Intamin, who are now coming into the hypercoaster market. For those of you that don't know, a hypercoaster is a ride that is traditionally over 200 foot. I don't know if Thorpe Park would build over 200 foot or if it would be like a mini hyper. But it's essentially just a very tall ride with a load of drops and airtime hills. There's no inversions, so it doesn't go upside down. It's just a load of hills, basically. And yeah, this is one of the heavily rumoured rides to be coming to Thorpe Park, because it would offer things that can't really be found in the rest of the park. Like, Thorpe has a lot of inversions. In fact, I think it's the 4th theme park to have the most inversions in the world, or something like that. So yeah, you go upside down a lot at Thorpe Park, and there's no ride where you get like a decent amount of airtime. For those of you that don't know, airtime is like the feeling you get when you go over a bridge or something where you feel it in your stomach. And yeah, that is just what hypercoasters offer. And a perfect location for a hypercoaster at Thorpe Park would be running down the side of Monk's Walk. So you could have airtime hills and then a little turnaround section, and then it would come back. And the station could even be located on the island next to the Swarm. So yeah, this is definitely a very big possibility for the park. I personally would really like to see a hypercoaster. I've only done the Silver Star over at Europa Park, but I love that. And even Intamin coming in with their new model of hypercoaster. For example, Hyperion, which is opening at Energylandia in Poland. it looks incredible. So I think Thorpe Park could definitely do something really cool with a hypercoaster, and it would look amazing on the park skyline with a nice big old coaster running around the back of the park. Now coming in at number 2, we have a multi-launch roller coaster. And for those of you that are big roller coaster fans, you may know of Icon, which has just opened at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and this is a multi-launch roller coaster produced by Mack Rides. Mack Rides and Intamin are the biggest manufacturers for this type of roller coaster, and yeah, these type of rides are amazing. They're very compact, like loads of sharp bends. You can have inversions like on Icon or on Helix, for example. But there are also multi-launch coasters such as Taron, which is my favourite roller coaster in the world, that doesn't go upside down. It just has launches and bank turns and loads of airtime. So yeah, this type of ride would definitely work very, very well at Thorpe Park. Considering the success of Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I think Thorpe Park could definitely do something well with it. And as I said, it does fit into a very small footprint. Like, it doesn't need to take up a lot of space, so it could be placed on the island next to Swarm, or it could even be placed in like the I'm a Celebrity bush barbecue kind of area if they ever wanted to redevelop that space. But yeah, I personally would love to see a ride like Taron at Thorpe Park, because Thorpe Park can do some amazing theming, and it would just be amazing to have that ride within the UK. And Icon seems to have gone down well, so I think Thorpe Park would definitely be considering a multi-launch coaster. So we now come to number 1, which seems to be the most popular option that people seem to want for the next coaster. And it does seem like it could be a very viable option, and that is an RMC, a Rocky Mountain Construction ride. Now this is a relatively new type of roller coaster. It's essentially a hybrid of steel and wood. And yeah, these rides are massively popular over in America. They're getting built constantly, and recently they have started to move over to Europe as well, with the opening of Wildfire over at Colmarden. The elements that are put into these rides are often very, very strange. Like, they have very weird bank turns and weird inversions, and yeah, they're like nothing else, and they just look amazing. And people have been wanting an RMC not only in Europe but within the UK for so many years now, and Thorpe Park does seem like the only park that could do an RMC justice and properly pull it off, in my opinion. So an RMC at Thorpe Park would be amazing, and I think it definitely is a very viable option. It could go anywhere in the park really. It could go on the island next to the Swarm. It could also go where Loggers Leap is, if they were to get rid of Loggers Leap. Yeah, an RMC at Thorpe Park would be amazing. Just having one in the UK would be so cool, because it is a coaster that so many people want to experience but can't. And I think if Thorpe Park were to invest in an RMC, then it probably would be the best ride in the UK. So those are, in my opinion, the 4 most likely roller coaster models to be coming to Thorpe Park. Obviously, I could be wrong. There are a ton of other coaster models that Thorpe Park could be looking at, such as dive machines or flying coasters or literally anything. But yeah, those are, in my opinion, the 4 most likely options. But the question obviously comes up of when will we actually find out what ride we're getting? And at the moment, it seems likely that Thorpe Park will be looking to open this big new ride in 2020. And I know it might seem like a long time away, but it'll be here before you know it. And we've already waited 6 years. We can wait 2 more. But if it does open in 2020, then that does mean we will start to see plans towards the end of 2018, and construction will start at some point in 2019. So yeah, even though it might not be opening for a while, we will start to see construction, and the hype will start to build relatively soon, I believe. Who knows, it might not even be 2020 that they're planning this for. It could be even later, 2021, or dare I say 2022. I hope not, because then that'll be a decade without a ride at Thorpe Park. But fingers crossed, they're planning to add this new ride for 2020. And just a quick disclaimer, like, anyone that's trying to claim that they know what the next big ride is gonna be, they're just straight lying. Like, literally, I imagine only a handful of people at this point actually know what coaster is going to be at Thorpe Park. So yeah, anyone claiming that they're getting like inside knowledge and stuff, they're just lying. It's not true. Only a few people know. One of those people is probably watching this video. They know who they are, and it's probably laughing at me, making all these speculations. But yeah, as soon as we do get some official news about this next big ride, I will of course be making a video about it straight away. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon to be notified as soon as I upload that video. And yeah, I do make a load of other Thorpe Park videos and just other roller coaster and theme park videos in general. So if you're into that kind of thing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And let me know down below what you would like Thorpe Park's next big roller coaster to be. What kind of ride do you want it to have? Where do you think it will go? And what kind of theme would you like to see it have? And you never know, people from Thorpe Park could be reading the comments down below. So yeah, go to town with it. I will definitely be reading through and replying to you guys. But yeah, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it and it does help me out big time. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.